We had been child-free by choice for 5 years. Then out of nowhere, my wife adopted a pair of twins. She told me I had to treat these two children as if they were my own flesh and blood. She even said she wanted them to inherit our $100 billion family fortune. I thought she'd finally changed her mind about having kids. And I was so happy I could have jumped for joy, after all back then for her sake. I had voluntarily gone through with a vasectomy, but I never could have imagined the truth. When I went to the hospital to ask about a reversal surgery, the doctor looked at me with pure pity while holding my scans. Mr. Zia, your seminal vesicles were completely removed 5 years ago. There isn't a single living sperm left in your body. I was completely paralyzed. 5 years ago, wasn't that exactly when I had my vasectomy? My wife Lin Shui was the one who went with me for that surgery. She stayed right outside the operating room the entire time, never once leaving the hospital. How could she have possibly tampered with the surgery? I sat there on the hospital bench, feeling like my soul had left my body. My head was a complete mess. Just then I heard my brother-in-law Lin Yifeng's voice coming from nearby. This is too much. It's bad enough you brought those two bastards home, but now you're bringing Ji Mingyu back too. Are you two planning to carry on your affair right under my brother-in-law's nose? My whole body froze. What did he mean an affair? Minju and I aren't like that. My wife Lin Shuyi's voice drifted over, sounding clearly guilty. Not like that. Then what about the twins you had with Ji Mingju? How do you explain that? You can't be this heartless. You've got to have some kind of moral compass. It's not like I wanted to, Lin Shuyi snapped back, sounding desperate. Back then, Minju's father was terminally ill. His only wish before he died was to see Mingju get married and have a child. I owe Mingju my life. Giving him a child was my way of paying him back. I didn't have any other choice. I leaned against the wall, feeling all the blood in my body rushing to my head. Paying him back! Again, Lin Yifeng's voice was dripping with sarcasm. So you went behind my brother-in-law's back and had a secret wedding with Ji Mingyu. Then you tricked him into that vasectomy, stole his seminal vesicles, and had them transplanted into Ji Mingyu. That sentence hit me like a bolt of lightning crashing down on my head. My vision went black, and I had to grab the wall just to stay upright. The person who mutilated me was my own wife, Xiaofeng. You don't understand. Yuan wanted to be child-free anyway. He didn't want kids. Lin Shui's voice just kept going, since he didn't want kids. Those parts were useless to him anyway. It was better to give them to Mingyu. I almost let out a hysterical laugh when I heard that, back then. She was the one who cried her eyes out after watching a documentary on childbirth, saying it was too terrifying. She said she was scared of the pain, scared of dying, scared that if she died, she'd never see me again. I only agreed to be child-free because my heart ached for her. I only got that vasectomy because I loved her. And now, what did all that love get me? It got me a blatant betrayal and my body being harvested behind my back. Isn't everything fine at home now? Lin Shuyi continued talking as if she were the victim. I only got pregnant after Minju received Yuan's transplant. Since those parts belong to Yuan, in a way the children I gave birth to are actually his own flesh and blood. I clenched my fists so hard my nails dug into my palms, but I couldn't even feel the pain. Besides, Yuan has changed his mind lately and wants kids now anyway. I'll just take this chance to bring Xiaozi and Anan home, and we'll finally be one big happy family. She actually sounded smug about it. As for her reputation, he's terminally ill. He's gonna die any day now. He saved my life once after all. I can't just let him die all alone. So I want to bring him home and stay by his side until the very end. The way she said it, she was so wrapped up in her own little act of kindness. She was practically patting herself on the back. Xiaofeng, don't let a word of this slip. Your brother-in-law can't find out. Minju only has 1 week left. After 1 week, it'll all be over. I slumped against the wall and slowly slid to the floor. I don't even remember how I got home. But the second I pushed that door open, looking at all the familiar furniture, I suddenly felt cold. I'd lived here for 5 years, but now it felt like a total icebox. Our wedding photo was still hanging there in the living room. I looked so happy in it. My arm was around Shuyi's waist and my eyes were full of stars. On the nightstand in the bedroom, there was that photo of us kissing under the northern lights. We took it in Iceland on our honeymoon. It was 30 degrees below zero that night. We were bundled up in heavy coats waiting out in the middle of nowhere just for one glimpse of those lights. When those green ribbons finally spread across the sky, she suddenly turned and grabbed me. We kissed right there under the aurora. In that moment, I thought I was the luckiest man in the world, in the closet. There were the suits we wore when we went skydiving. We jumped out of that plane hand in hand. The wind was screaming in my ears. She yelled into the radio, "Lin Rui, I love you." On the bookshelf was a photo of us underwater. That was from our diving trip in the Maldives. She was in her wetsuit, holding onto my waist as tight as could. The ocean floor behind us looked like something out of a dream. She was the girl next door. A CEO worth 100 billion. She shouldn't have been doing such dangerous things. But for me, she was willing to try anything. I don't care if something happens to me. She used to hold me and say so tenderly, as long as you're with me. I die happy right now, you're the only one I'll ever love. And back then, I believed her. I believed every single word. I trusted her with everything I had, but thinking back, what a joke. It was all a lie. I crouched there in the middle of the room, looking at all these memories. My chest hurt like someone was twisting a knife in it. I couldn't even breathe. I took a deep breath, stood up, and ripped that wedding photo off the wall. I tore them apart one by one, then the photos on the nightstand. The pictures from the shelf and the skydiving suits from the closet, I piled them all in the middle of the living room and the fireplace. I watched the flames swallow those smiling faces, swallow every single memory. Suddenly, I felt this strange sense of relief. Burn. Just burn it all. It was all fake anyway. Just as the fire caught, the door swung open. Shuyi was back. And she wasn't alone. There was a man with her wearing hospital scrubs. Yuanling, this is Mingyu. You know him. He's the son of my old mentor. Shuyi had that sweet smile on her face. She didn't even blink while she lied to me. His parents both passed away. Minju has no one left, and he has cancer late stage. He doesn't have much time left. I just couldn't bear to leave him all alone in the hospital, so I brought him home to recover. She walked over and tucked her arm into mine. Her tone was so light as if absolutely nothing was wrong. Don't worry, I've hired a nanny and a nurse specifically to look after Mingyu. You don't lift a finger. You can even pretend he isn't even here. I looked at her. I looked at this woman I've deeply loved for 5 years. I stared at her face as she spoke those tender words, and then I tossed the very last photo into the fireplace. It turned to ash in an instant, just like our marriage, and just like that Jiming Yu moved in. The four of them were finally a family again. When the two children saw Ming Yu, their eyes lit up. The little one even let out a daddy before she could stop herself. Luckily, Lin Shuyi reacted quickly. She threw her arms around me, gave me a kiss on the cheek, and said with a smile, "Look, our daughter is calling for you." But I knew better. Those twins had been living in the Lin house for 3 months now. They'd never called me dad once, even though I'd spent the last 3 months buying them toys, playing games with them, and helping them with their homework. I treated them as if they were my own. Now, just to keep up the act. That little girl, Anan, shot me a vicious glare. Then she trudged over reluctantly and said, "Daddy, I want some nuts." "Peel them for me." I thought sure nuts are fine, but peeling too many makes your fingers ache. Was she trying to make me hurt? She used to make me do this all the time. I thought she just loved them, so I always peeled them. But now seeing the blatant malice in her eyes, the last bit of warmth in my heart died out. "You want nuts? Go ask the nanny to peel them for you." Shuyi stepped forward and hugged me, sounding so protective. Peeling nuts is so hard on the hands, I'd never even ask my husband to do that for me. Ji Mingyu stood to the side and his face instantly turned sour. He shot me a hateful look when no one was watching, and then out of the blue he asked, "Auntie, where are your prayer beads?" I froze. Those beads, I went all the way to Elsa for them, kneeling every single step of the way, scaling Mount Marpo-ri over 3,000 meters high with pure devotion, and kneeling in that temple for a whole day just to get those beads blessed by the High Elder. She cried back then, saying it was the most precious gift she'd ever received. Since then, those beads had never left her left wrist. She never took them off. But now her wrist was bare. "Wait, where are my beads?" Shuyi panicked. She was wearing them just this morning. She started looking for them, but then she caught Ming Yu's eye. His gaze was dripping with lust. Ming Yu licked his lips. And while Shuyi watched, he slowly slid his hand down toward his lap. He even shifted his hips suggestively. "Auntie, my stomach suddenly feels really bad. Could you take me upstairs to lie down for a bit? I don't know which room is mine." Even an idiot could see what he was hinting at. Shuyi's breathing hitched instantly. She looked at Ming Yu completely lost in desire. Then she turned to me and said, "Ruinly, I'm going to take Ming Yu up to rest. You take care of this kids." And with that, she was gone. She couldn't wait to help Ji Mingju up the stairs. I just stood there, watching their silhouettes vanish around the landing. My heart turned to ice bit by bit. I had the nanny take the 2 kids away, then I headed upstairs in silence. The bedroom door was slightly ajar. They were in such a rush they didn't even lock it. "You're insane. How could you take my prayer beads into a place like that?" Lin Shuyi's voice drifted through the crack in the door. She was scolding him, but there wasn't a hint of anger in her voice. Instead, she sounded strangely excited. "Auntie, you want these beads? Come and take them yourself then." Ji Minju's voice was full of mischief. "But you have to use that mouth, the one down there." Then I heard the sound of beads hitting the floor, one prayer bead dripping with something. Slowly rolled to my feet and came to a stop. I stared down at that bead. I remember kneeling at every step, filled with devotion as I prayed to get those beads for her. Now they were just props for their affair. Right under my nose. They were using them to spit on my love, to desecrate my faith. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. When I opened them again, the last shred of lingering affection was gone. A marriage like this, a woman like her, wasn't worth keeping. That very night I contacted a lawyer to have him draft the divorce papers. At the same time, I hired a professional team to help me wipe away every single trace of my existence. I wanted to disappear completely, erasing every footprint I'd ever left. How long will it take? I asked over the phone. 1 week at the earliest. They replied. Lin Shuyi had mentioned it once. Ji Mingyu only had 1 week left, and then it would all be over. She said she'd come back to the family and love me with her whole heart. Thinking about that made me laugh. Oh, Lin Shuyi, dear Lin Shuyi, where in the world is life that easy? You play around until you're bored and then just come home. Did you really think I'd just be standing here waiting for you? I won't. I'm not waiting. And you won't have a home to come back to, because by the time you're ready to return, you'll realize you haven't had a home for a long time. Fine, 1 week, I said without hesitation. I've sent the money, just make sure I disappear completely. Don't leave a single clue behind. The next morning I went down for breakfast, and those prayer beads were back on Lin Shuyi's wrist, wrapped around her left arm, looking exactly like they all had, but looking at them now just made me feel sick. My stomach churned so hard I couldn't even touch my food. Lin Shuyi, looking like she deserved a prize, leaned in and said, I found the beads you gave me. She shook her wrist with a sweet fake smile. This is the symbol of our love. I'll wear it forever. I'm never losing it again. The moment the words left her mouth, Ji Mingyu, sitting across from us, suddenly doubled over in pain. He clutched his chest and coughed up a huge spray of blood, then collapsed onto the floor, seizing violently. Mingyu! Lin Shuyi screamed, dropping her chopsticks and lunging toward him. She knelt on the floor, cradling him in her arms, her face pale with terror. Right then, the two kids suddenly burst into tears. Zia An pointed right at me and screamed, Mommy! It's Daddy! It was Daddy! He snuck mango juice into Uncle Mingyu's food. Uncle Mingyu is allergic to mangoes. He's trying to kill him. Lin Shuyi froze. Her first instinct was to snap back. An! Watch your mouth, Yuan Lin isn't that kind of person. But the next second, Zia Zayu, the older twin, suddenly rushed over and clamped his hand over his sister's mouth. He said, sounding terrified, Stop it! Don't say another word or Dad's going to kill us. As he spoke, he intentionally pulled back his sleeve, revealing an arm, covered in raw, bloody gashes, one after another. They looked like they'd been made by a barbed whip. Lin Shuyi's pupils suddenly constricted. She looked up and stared at me in total disbelief. You did this to them. I looked at those scars, and a cold sneer formed in my heart. 5-year-old kids, they sure can put on a hell of a show. My face remained blank as I said coldly, If I said I didn't, would you even believe me? Back when we got married, she promised she'd always trust me unconditionally. But now, looking at Ji Mingyu's bloody mouth, and the two children covered in scars, her eyes were filled with nothing but rage. They're only 5 years old! Would they really lie? Who else in this house would dare lay a hand on them besides you? Zhao Yuanlin, they're just 5 years old. How could you bring yourself to do this to them? After she finished screaming, she scooped up the kids, helped Ji Mingyu up, and headed for the door. Right then, I suddenly felt my chest tighten, making it hard to breathe. As if something was blocking my throat, rashes started breaking out all over my body. It was an allergic reaction. The soy milk, I only had 1 cup of soy milk this morning. Every nanny we've had knows I'm allergic to soybeans. They'd never use them in the soy milk. But the cup I drank today had soybeans in it. The soy milk! I clutched my throat, gasping for air. I'm allergic to soybeans. I wanted to call out to her. I wanted her to take me to the hospital. But Lin Shuyi just gave me a cold, disgusted look. Jia Yuaning, stop acting. Everyone in this house knows you're allergic to soybeans. Who would even put soybeans in the soy milk? Not only do you refuse to admit what you did, but you're faking an allergy just for attention. I'm truly disappointed in you. With that, she helped Ji Mingyu out and walked away without once looking back. Leaving me all alone, collapsed on the floor, I cried out for help, but no one answered. I was completely abandoned. When I finally woke up, I was lying in a hospital bed. The person watching over me wasn't Lin Shuyi. It was Auntie Zhang, our nanny. Mr. Xia, oh, thank God you're finally awake. Auntie Zhang's eyes were red from crying. Her hands shook as she gripped my fingers. I was the one who brought you to the hospital. I made that soy milk too. I swear to God, I really didn't put any soybeans in there. You have to believe me. Looking at the sheer panic on her face, a wave of bitterness washed over me. She was the one who made the soy milk, and she was 100% sure there were no soybeans in it. Yet she still believed I was having a reaction, and rushed me to the hospital. But what about Lin Shuyi? The woman who promised to love me for the rest of her life, she just left me at home to die. I closed my eyes feeling completely drained of everything. I know, Auntie Jang, thank you. She wiped away her tears and stepped out. I lay there in the hospital bed alone, staring blankly at the ceiling. It wasn't until later that I found out. Ji Minju's room was right next door. When I got up to use the bathroom at midnight, I saw Lin Shuyi keeping watch by his bedside. She's sitting by the bed holding his hand, her eyes filled with nothing but heartache. When I used to get sick, she used to watch over me just like this. As the heir to the Lin group, she had a million things to do every single day. But every time I fell ill, she'd drop everything, cancel all her meetings just to take care of me herself, bringing me water, cooking for me with her own 2 hands, even coaxing me to take my medicine. Thinking back on those days, my eyes can't help but well up. I just don't understand how something that was once so beautiful could end up like this. Yi, I'm slipping away. I'm dying. In the hospital room, Ji Mingyu grips Lin Shuyi's hand, his breath faint as he asks, "Before I go, I need an answer. After all these years, did you ever truly love me?" Lin Shuyi goes silent. She stays quiet for a long time, so long that she wouldn't answer at all. "Even just a little bit," Mingyu chokes out. Yi, it's over for me. I'm not asking for your whole heart, but if you felt even a spark of real emotion for me, then I can die in peace. Looking at Mingyu, his face drenched in tears, Lin Shuyi finally breaks. She reaches out and pulls him into a tight embrace. "Mingyu, of course I have feelings for you." Her voice is low, thick with suppressed agony. "Forgive me, but I can't say I love you. Because I have Yunli now, I can't betray him. But if it wasn't for Yunli, I can tell you with total honesty, you would be the man I love most in this world." Standing in the hallway listening to this, it feels like a hole has been punched through my heart. The wind howls through it cold and piercing. I reach up to touch my face only to realize that somewhere along the way I'd started sobbing. The tears just won't stop. I thought her being with Ji Mingyu was just about the thrill. I thought it was just physical, that there was no love between them. But how could I be so wrong when Mingyu collapsed coughing up blood? She couldn't even hide the panic in her eyes. And when Mingyu took the prayer beads I'd knelt and prayed for at every step, and brought them to a place like that, she didn't say a single word to scold him. Her heart had clearly chosen its side a long time ago. I turned to leave, but I've only taken a few steps when my phone vibrates. It's a message from Ji Mingyu, a video clip. Underneath there's a caption, "Everything she ever gave you, she gave to me too." I tap on the video and a lavish wedding scene fills the screen. The venue looks so familiar. It's the exact same place where Shuyi and I got married. The same ballroom, the same layout, even the same decorations for a split second. I actually thought it was a video of my own wedding, until I Ji Mingyu in a custom-tailored suit. Stepping into the frame, I gasped for air. "Mingyu! I heard from Shuyi you guys have children now, twins." In the video, Shuyi's father is beaming with pride, clapping Minju on the shoulder. "I'm just so happy," he says. "You're the pride of the Lin family, even if you and Shuyi can't officially register your marriage. I promise you this, everything Xia Yuanlin has, you'll have too. And everything he doesn't have, you'll have that too." As he speaks, he slips the emerald signet ring off his finger. "This is the Lin family heirloom. In the old days, it was a treasure from the imperial palace. The emperor himself wore this," he said with a smile. "This jade ring is the only one of its kind in the Lin family, and it's only passed down to sons-in-law." Then he placed the jade ring onto Ji Mingyu's hand. "Mingyu, you're the only son-in-law I'm willing to recognize. Because of the child-free thing, Mr. Lin never liked me. He thought I was the one insisting on being a dink, that I didn't want kids. But he had no idea I actually love children. I've always wanted a child who was entirely my own. I'm an orphan. I have no living relatives in this world. A child was the only thing I could ever truly have. A flesh and blood relative who shared my soul. How could I not want a child? It was actually Lin Shuyi who insisted on being childless, back when we first got married. We happened to watch a documentary about childbirth. It was raw, real, and very bloody. Shuyi was absolutely terrified after watching it. She curled up in my arms for the longest time, shaking. "Having a baby is too scary," she said, her face pale. "Yuan Li, I'm so scared. They say giving birth is like stepping through the gates of hell, even with modern medicine. Accidents still happen. If anything went wrong during labor, Yuan Li, I'd be willing to die for you. I'm not afraid of death itself. What I'm really afraid of is never being able to see you again. Just the thought of being separated from you like that, I can't handle it. Yuan Li, I can't live without you. I'd lose my mind. Can we please just not have kids? Hearing that, my heart completely melted. Even though I desperately wanted a child, I already had such an amazing wife. What did it matter if we had kids or not? So right then and there, I agreed to be childless with her. Whenever her father pressured us, I was the one who stepped up and took the heat. I knew she was always terrified of him, so I told her to tell him that I was the one who didn't want children. Who would have thought that while she was playing DINK with me, she was secretly running off to another country to have a baby for Ji Mingyu? No wonder she was on business so much 5 years ago. Once she even stayed abroad for over a year, as it turns out. It wasn't because the Lin family was expanding overseas, it was because she was pregnant. She couldn't hide the bump anymore, so she had to give birth abroad. A few days later, both Ji Mingyu and I were discharged. Shuyi had been so busy taking care of him that she didn't even notice I'd been hospitalized too, right in the room next to his. I didn't even bother saying anything. I was already done with this marriage anyway. But then she had the nerve to act all noble and forgiving. She came to me and said, "Yuan Li, I forgive you." I almost laughed out loud. What right did she have to say that? "We're husband and wife," she said. "No matter how much you mess up, I'll always forgive you, but I hope there won't be a next time. As punishment, I'll be sleeping in the study for a while. You should take this time to reflect on what you've done." Then she packed her things and moved the study. That very night, I received a provocative video from Ji Mingyu. In the video, Lin Shuyi was lying beneath him, her clothes in disarray. She was breathless, moaning as Ji Mingyu called out passionately, "Shuyi baby, I love you. Being with you makes me forget the pain, it makes me forget everything. Right now, I only think of you, I only love you." Hearing that raw, intimate confession, Shuyi was clearly turned on. In the heat of the moment, she pulled him close and whispered, "Mingyu, I love you." "Shuyi baby, what was that?" Ji Mingyu's face lit up with pure ecstasy. "Say it again," he urged. Lin Shuyi's expression immediately went stone cold. It was obvious that her earlier "I love you" had been a slip of the tongue blurted out in a moment of weakness. Now that her logic had returned, she didn't want to be the kind of person who betrayed her marriage. So no matter how much Ji Mingyu begged, she refused to say it again. Tears began streaming down Ji Mingyu's face instantly. "Shuyi, I'm going to die soon. Even knowing that you still won't say those 3 words to me. While you're actually conscious." Lin Shuyi looked torn, her face twisted in pain. "Mingyu, don't push me. Fine then, I'll just die right now." Ji Mingyu threw the window open and made a move to jump. "It's not like anyone in this world actually loves me anyway." "Mingyu, what are you doing?" "Get down from there now." Lin Shuyi was frantic with worry. "No," Ji Mingyu hissed, gritting his teeth. "If you don't love me, then my life has no meaning anymore." As soon as the words left his mouth, half of his body was already hanging out the window. Lin Shuyi's heart skipped a beat. She lunged forward and wrapped arms around him, pulling him back tightly. "Who said I don't love you?" she screamed, her voice cracking with desperation. "I love you so much, it's driving me insane. Did you really think I was the kind of person who could just throw a marriage away?" Her eyes were bloodshot, and she shrieked at him, her voice bordering on a total breakdown. "I love Xia Yuanli. Betraying him makes me feel physically sick. But I can't help it. Your existence, it's making me lose my mind. You've turned me into someone I don't even recognize anymore." Ji Mingyu was finally satisfied. He slid his arms around her waist and asked with a smirk, "Shuyi, can I take that to mean you love me just a little bit more than you love Xia Yuanli?" Lin Shuyi's face darkened again. "Don't push your luck." The video cut off right there. I sat there in the dark and suddenly burst out laughing so hard that tears started rolling down my face. "Lin Shuyi, at least you know you're disgusting. You're the one who cheated. You're the one who betrayed me. What right do you have to act like you're the one suffering?" I didn't say a word, I just quietly downloaded every single video Ji Mingyu had sent me and forwarded them all to my lawyer. "This is proof of Lin Shuyi's infidelity," I told him. "And there's more, behind my back. She secretly had my organ harvested and transplanted into that little homewrecker. I won't be showing up for the divorce. I never want to see her face again. You'll represent me and handle all the paperwork. I don't care what it costs, but I don't just want a divorce. I want you to help me get my organ back." While I was meticulously preparing for the divorce, Lin Shuyi was busy having a wild, reckless affair with Ji Mingyu. He probably thought he was dying, and if they didn't go at it every chance they got, he'd run out of time. Every opportunity they had, they were all over each other. And Ji Mingyu recorded everything secretly just to send it to me. They didn't just stay in the study, they did it in the park during their morning runs. Lin Shuyi even started bringing him along to the office when she went to work, in the videos Ji Mingyu sent. There was even footage of him under her desk pleasuring her while she worked. He didn't have the energy of a dying man at all, no matter how much Lin Shuyi demanded. He kept up with her tirelessly, looking like he was enjoying every second of it. I did some digging, and it turns out Ji Mingyu never had cancer, all of it. The whole terminal illness thing was just a lie he made up so he could move into the Lin house. It was such a pathetic amateur lie that I found the truth with a single search. If Lin Shuyi really wanted to know the truth, how could she have missed it? She just chose to keep her eyes shut, because that way she could keep fooling around with him without a shred of guilt. Jia Yuanlin, you're such a pathetic coward. I've posted so many videos and you still haven't done a damn thing. Ji Mingyu finally lost his patience and came to pick a fight with me. Your woman is in my bed every single night. She's absolutely exhausting me. He sneered at me triumphantly. And you're just going to stand there and watch, aren't you? You really are a loser. You don't even have the guts to face me man to man. Are you really that scared she'll leave you? You act like you don't care on the outside. But you're actually terrified, aren't you? You're afraid that if you make a scene, she'll pick me over you. I looked up and gave him a cold, blank stare. You're that sure she'd choose you? Damn right. He grinned. If you don't believe me, just wait and see. Just as the words left his mouth, a car suddenly veered off the road and came barreling toward us. It was flying. Lin Shuyi was right there nearby. And she realized something was wrong immediately. She dropped everything she was holding and threw herself toward Ji Mingyu without a second thought. Mingyu, look out! She used her own body to shield him. I didn't even have time to move before the car slammed into me and sent me flying, just before I blacked out. The last thing I saw was Lin Shuyi clinging to Ji Mingyu, protecting him from the impact with her own body. Blood and tears blurred my vision together, and as my mind drifted, a memory suddenly flashed back. Back when we used to go skydiving together, there was this one time the parachute jammed. It wouldn't open. It looked like we were both going to die. But she grabbed me tight and suddenly flipped us over in midair. She held me on top of her so that no matter what happened when we hit the ground, she would be the one to take the hit. She once used her fragile body to protect me with everything she had, but now she's abandoned me to save another man. I don't know how much time went by, but in the darkness I could hear Lin Shuyi's voice nearby. I forced my eyes open and saw her holding my phone, sounding annoyed as she talked to a divorce lawyer. You have the wrong number. Yuanli and I are doing great. There is no way we're getting a divorce. The only way out of this marriage is in a casket. She hung up her face dark with anger. I closed my eyes exhausted. You shouldn't be touching my phone. She finally realized I was awake and rushed over to my side, grabbing my hand with a look of panic. Yuanli, you're awake, thank God. Do you have any idea how much blood you lost? I was absolutely frantic. I just stared at her, cold and silent. She looked away, clearly feeling guilty. Yuanli, are you angry with me? Please don't be. It's not that I didn't want to save you, I just couldn't see you from my angle. I didn't even realize you were there until after I got Mingyu to safety. My heart literally shattered. If I'd known you were in danger, I would have saved you first, I swear. I looked at her and realized something. I can't tell what's a lie and what's the truth anymore. It's pathetic. We've shared a bed for 5 whole years. She was supposed to be the person I trusted most in this world. But looking at her now, she's nothing but a stranger. The woman I once loved with all my heart, she is dead to me now. Just a rotting memory. There is no going back. I am just so tired. I shut my eyes again, unable to stand the sight of her for another second. She started to say something, but stopped when she saw I was done with her. She just let out a soft sigh and said, Fine, get some rest then. I have to go take care of some things at the office. I will be back to check on you soon. She left, but she had not been gone long before I got another taunting video from Ji Mingyu. In the clip, he had his arm wrapped tightly around Shuyi's waist. With a smug look on his face, he asked, Yi, are you really planning to leave the entire Lin family fortune to Xiaozi and Anan? Shuyi nodded. I have already had the lawyers draft the paperwork once the banquet starts. I am signing it in front of everyone. I am making it official. Xiaozi and Anan are my sole heirs. Xiaozi will take over the Lin group, and Anan will get more than half of the real estate along with my mother's estate, and every piece of high-end jewelry I own. Some of those pieces are worth over $1 million each. Together, the collection is worth a fortune. Ji Mingyu could not hide his satisfaction, but he still put on an act. Will Yuan Lin actually agree to this? Zhou and Anan are not his after all. What if he wants kids of his own someday? Yuan Lin isn't having any kids, Shu Yi said, her voice cold and certain. Zhou and Anan will be his only children. He doesn't have a choice. He can't father children anyway without his seminal vesicles. He will just have to raise Xiaozi and Anan as his own flesh and blood, which means everything in his name will eventually go to them too. Mingyu, I might not be able to give you a marriage or a whole heart, but I promise you this, our children will inherit everything that belongs to me and you and Lin. She took his hand, looking him in the eye with a solemn promise. When you and the kids have everything I own. The video cut off right there. I gripped my phone so hard my knuckles turned ghostly white. She tore my heart out and now she wants my money too. Fine, Shuyi, so this is what you call love. I took a deep breath and called my divorce lawyer. Is the settlement ready? Good. Deliver it to her right now. She is hosting a banquet to announce she is handing over everything. To give all our assets to those bastards. Find out where the banquet is and get there immediately. You have to make sure she signs those papers before she makes any announcements. She can do whatever she wants with her half, but as for mine, I would rather throw my share into the ocean than give them a single cent. I hung up. Then the team I hired to help me disappear sent a message. Mr. Sia, everything is ready. You can leave whenever you are set. A faint smile finally touched my exhausted face. Within 30 minutes of sending my location, they were there to pick me up. With their help, I boarded a plane headed for another country. Before takeoff, I forwarded every single video Mingju sent me to Shuyi. I added one message, don't bother apologizing, I will never forgive you. After sending it, I tossed the phone into a trash can and walked onto the plane without looking back. At that exact moment, the Lin family banquet began. Almost every big name in socialite and high society is here. Even a massive crowd of reporters has shown up, setting up their cameras and waiting for Lin Shuyi to announce today's main event. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend the Lin Group's gala. Lin Shuyi stands on the stage, her voice steady and composed. I invited you all here today because I have an important announcement to make. I'm sure some of the media have already caught wind of the rumors recently. My husband Jia Yuan Lin and I have adopted a pair of twins, a boy and a girl. I've always believed that adopted children are no different from biological ones. So today, in front of all the media, I am announcing to the world that I am transferring every single asset under the Lin Group's name to. Before she can finish, a man suddenly rushes onto the stage. President Lin, he shouts at the top of his lungs, I am Mr. Jia Yuan Lin's divorce attorney. He has authorized me to serve you these papers. This is the divorce settlement. Please sign it. Those few words caused the entire banquet hall to erupt instantly. What's going on? Where did this lawyer come from? Jia Yuanlin wants a divorce. Did I hear that right? Is it because he doesn't want the family fortune? Going to some adopted kids he's not even related to, so he's forcing a divorce. To see if Shuyi chooses the money or the kids. How could he do that? That's so cold-hearted. Couldn't they talk about this in private? Making a scene like this in public is so humiliating. He probably tried talking in private and it didn't work. Losing face is better than losing the entire fortune. The crowd is buzzing with gossip. The reporters like they've just been given a shot of adrenaline. Point their cameras at Lin Shuyi and start snapping photos like crazy. President Lin, is it true? Are you really divorcing Jia Yuan Lin? Is this conflict over the adoption? Is it because of the inheritance rights? President Lin, you and your husband are both still young? Why did you choose adoption over having your own children? Countless microphones are shoved in her face, and the questions get more and more intrusive. One reporter even gets right in her personal space and barks, President Lin, is the reason you won't have a child with your husband because you're actually infertile? Lin Shuyi's face turns pitch black in an instant. She glares at the reporter with a look so sharp it could cut someone into 1,000 pieces, but she obviously can't lose her temper with the press right now. The absolute priority is to stabilize the situation. She takes a deep breath and shouts, everyone be quiet! That single sentence freezes everyone in the room. The crowd goes silent and all eyes turn back to her. Lin Shuyi takes the microphone from her assistant, her face cold as ice as she announces, first of all, I will never divorce Jia Yuan Lin. He is the only man I have ever loved in my life. I am his wife, and he is the only man worthy of being my husband. We are not getting a divorce. Any rumors about our divorce are completely false. I can tell you all right now with full certainty that in my marriage with Jia Yuan Lin, the only way out is death. There will be no divorce. Her words send the banquet hall into another frenzy. President Lin really is the strongest woman in the country. She's such a boss. No wonder Jia Yuan Lin dares to make such a scene. He's clearly been spoiled by his wife. I'm so jealous of him. If my wife was even half as incredible as President Lin, I'd wake up smiling every single day. Amidst the waves of envy, a reporter's question cuts through the air like a knife. President Lin, if you aren't getting a divorce, then why isn't he here tonight? And who is the man standing next to you? Why does he look so much like your adopted son? What exactly is your relationship with him? Everyone's gaze shifts toward the front. Take a closer look. Your adopted daughter looks exactly like you. Is she actually your secret love child? Please give us a straight answer. Under the reporter's sharp questioning, the situation which had just been brought under control spiraled into chaos again. The guests began whispering among themselves. Now that it was mentioned, that little girl really did look a lot like Lin Shuyi. Actually, the little boy's eyes also resemble President Lin's. Look at his features. Doesn't he look more and more like her the longer you look? So that means these twins aren't adopted at all. They're Lin Shuyi's secret children that she's been hiding away. No wonder Xia Yuanlin wants a divorce. Anyone would lose their mind if this happened to them. In fact, as soon as the banquet began, some sharp-eyed guests had already noticed something was off. The twins Lin Shuyi adopted look remarkably like her. But those who move in high society are usually sharp. Even if they notice something fishy, they won't run their mouths. After all, the Lin family is powerful and nobody wants to get on Lin Shuyi's bad side. But now that a reporter has called it out in public, the nature of the situation has completely changed. It was like the final veil had been ripped away and all the dirty secrets hidden in the dark were suddenly exposed to the light. The banquet instantly fell into a state of total confusion. Even Lin Shuyi couldn't keep things under control anymore. Right then, Xia Yuanlin's divorce lawyer, Lin Hexuan, stepped forward and handed over the divorce papers. President Lin, please sign. He looked at the woman in front of him and said with a smile, "The sooner you sign, the sooner this is over." "Get the hell out!" Lin Shuyi snapped in a rage. She snatched the papers and ripped them into tiny pieces. However, Lin Hexuan seemed to have expected this. As soon as she finished tearing them, he smiled and pulled an identical set of papers from his bag. "President Lin, I suggest you just sign them nicely." He whispered, "Don't make this difficult for me. After all, Mr. Xia paid me a lot of money to help him end this unfortunate marriage. If you insist on refusing, then I'll be forced to play dirty." Before he could finish, Lin Shuyi grabbed him tightly by the collar. "Who the hell do you think you are trying to negotiate with me? Where is he right now? I want to see him." Facing the furious Lin Shuyi, Lin Hexuan didn't show even a hint of fear. He kept that same smile on his face, looking like a cunning, calculating fox. "Mr. Xia doesn't want to see you. He has already left. But before he went, he sent me some very interesting things." He paused for a moment, pulled out his phone, and brought up a video. In the video, Ji Mingju was pinned on top of Lin Shuyi, laughing as he reached out to pull up her skirt. The video was muted. Lin Hexuan was very discreet. He used his hand to shield the screen, showing the explicit footage only to Lin Shuyi, making sure no one else could see. "I'm sure, President Lin, that you definitely wouldn't want a third person to ever see this video, right?" He smiled again, and held the divorce papers out to her once more. "So just sign. The moment you sign these, I will delete the video. If you don't sign, I'll have no choice but to hand this over to my friends in the media. I'm sure they would be very interested in this clip and in your relationship with Mr. Ji Mingyu." His words successfully pushed Lin Shuyi over the edge. "Are you threatening me?" Her fists were clenched tight, as if she was about to slap him across the face at any second. "You could say that." Lin Hexuan kept smiling and said, "Since you won't sign nicely, I'll have to play a little rough. Also, I should remind you, you're surrounded by the media. Are you sure you want to make a scene here?" Lin Shuyi's expression turned increasingly terrifying. For a split second, she really wanted to just slap the hell out of him. But she couldn't not with all those reporters around. If she landed that slap, she'd be headline news by morning. In this digital age, as the CEO of the Lin Group, her every move could tank the stock market. The media was already fishing for rumors, whispering that she had a secret love child. If she assaulted a divorce lawyer now, it would only make matters worse, despite being absolutely livid. She finally let go. "I want to see Yuan Lin," she said with a cold, hard face. "I'm not signing anything until I see him." "I told you Mr. Xia has no interest in seeing you." Lin Hexuan flatly refused. "That's exactly why he paid me a fortune. To handle this divorce for him." He paused for a beat, then shoved the agreement toward her again. "I'll give you 2 days to sign this, and drop it off at my firm. If after 2 days, I don't see a signed document on my desk, I'm leaking that video online. Just a friendly tip, Madam CEO, that's not the only video I have." With that, he turned and walked away. Shuyi was fuming, her face dark with rage. But she was backed into a corner. 2 days later, Lin Hexuan was waiting in his office as expected when Shuyi arrived. She slammed the papers onto his desk. "It's signed. Now delete the video, will you?" "Of course," Hexuan smiled. After all, Mr. Xia still has a stake in the Lin Group. If the stock price crashes, it hurts his wallet too. "I would never sabotage my client's interests." As he spoke, he deleted every copy of the video from his phone right in front of her. Shuyi shot him a murderous look and stormed out. but her departure was just a performance. She had already ordered her people to keep a close watch on Lin Hexuan. She knew that once he had those signed papers, he would definitely contact me. As long as she stayed on his tail, he would lead her straight to me. Exactly, she didn't sign the papers because she was scared of the blackmail. Her real plan was to track me down. Everyone listen up. Stay on Lin Hexuan. The second he makes a move, let me know. Shu Yi barked orders into her headset. Among her team was a top-tier hacker she'd hired for a premium the moment Lin Hexuan called me. That hacker would be able to trace the call and pinpoint my exact location. And just as she predicted that very night, Lin Hexuan gave me a call. Mr. Zia, I've got the signed papers. Over the phone, Hexuan reported with a smirk. Lin Shu Yi finally signed it. Once we finalize things at the bureau, you'll have your divorce certificate in no time. She signed it that fast. On the other end of the line, my voice was thick with surprise. I wasn't shocked because I still had feelings for her, but rather because I had clearly stated in the divorce settlement that I wanted. Did Mingyu return the longevity lock? That was the main condition in the divorce papers. Did he actually agree to all of it? I asked him, my voice wavering with uncertainty. He didn't make any secret changes to the agreement, did he? Mr. Zia, you can put your mind at ease on that, Lin Hexuan replied, after Lin Shu Yi sent the divorce papers over. I made sure to check every single clause. There isn't a single trace of any tampering. He agreed to every demand you made, including getting back the savings pouch that Ji Mingyu stole from you. Is that so? I let out a soft, hollow laugh. I can't believe he actually agreed to that. He really is. I couldn't bring myself to finish the sentence. For him to agree to all this, he truly is as heartless as they come. He's not just cold-blooded toward me, but toward Ji Mingyu as well. I suppose the only person that man has ever truly loved is himself. But the truth was, Lin Shu Yi hadn't even bothered to look at those divorce papers. He signed them immediately, not because he wanted a divorce, but because he refused to let go. Signing was just a trap. The papers were bait to lure me out and pinpoint my hiding spot. At this very moment, while Lin Hexuan was on the phone with me, a world-class hacker hired by Lin Shu Yi for a fortune was tracing my location through the call. The hacker was hiding right below Hexuan's office. The closer the distance, the stronger the signal, and the more accurate the tracking. As soon as Lin Shu Yi stepped out of Hexuan's office, he rushed downstairs to find the hacker. Well, did you get him? He asked, his voice thick with tension. Where is he? I'm still breaking through, the hacker said. There's a serious pro on the other side. Someone installed a high-level anti-tracking system on your ex-husband's phone. This thing is a nightmare to bypass. I'm going to need more time. What ex-husband? You and Lin and I are not divorced. Lin Shu Yi snapped, his temper flaring. Those divorce papers. Lin Hexuan threatened me into signing those. As far as I'm concerned, that signature doesn't mean a damn thing. He and I are just having a little spat. Our connection is deep. Our history is real. We are not throwing it all away over something this trivial. All I need to do is find him right now. Once I find him and explain everything, once he hears the truth, we'll be perfectly fine again. So shut up about ex-husbands and divorce. Get that trash out of your head. He'd made it clear a long time ago his marriage to me only ends in death. Never divorce. I've got it, I'm in. The hacker suddenly let out an excited shout. I've got the location! Jia Yuan Lin is currently in the state of Alaska in Country K. Without a second thought, Lin Shu Yi booked the first flight out to Country K during the few days he'd been missing. He'd been driven absolutely insane with desperation. He'd searched every corner of the earth for me, deploying every single man he had. But in the end, he'd come up with nothing. It was as if I'd just evaporated into thin air. Not a single word, not a single trace. Every single thing belonging to me in the Lin family home had vanished. It was like some invisible force had intentionally scrubbed every single sign that I'd ever existed there. That massive villa felt empty in a heartbeat. He couldn't find me. And he couldn't even feel my presence anymore. He couldn't even find a single photograph of me. He knew he had hundreds of pictures of me on his phone, but whether someone had deleted them by accident or the phone had just glitched, every single photo was gone. Even my social media accounts had vanished right off his friends list. He knew he hadn't unfriended me. He hadn't me. My entire digital life had just evaporated, and it was the same with my phone number. He can't find me, and there's no way for him to get in touch with me anymore. He's truly completely lost me, and the moment he realized that, he was hit by a wave of panic like nothing he'd ever felt before. I was his entire life, and he couldn't handle losing me. He lost all his grip on reality in an instant, and in a total frenzy, he began scouring the entire world for any trace of me. But in the end, he still came up empty-handed. So right after signing the divorce papers, he immediately had his men shell out a fortune to hire a top-tier hacker from the dark web. She asked him, "Do you know why every single thing on my phone regarding my husband has just vanished?" Holding the phone, she questioned the hacker about why his photos, his contact info, and even the social media posts I'd shared about him, like on Weibo and everywhere else, were all gone. The hacker took the phone, gave it a quick look, and reached a conclusion. "Your phone's been breached." As he spoke, his fingers flew across the screen, and soon an app she'd never seen before popped up on the screen like magic. "I never installed this software," she said, looking completely stunned. "How did it get there?" "You don't need to install it. As long as a hacker has the right gear and gets close enough to your phone, they can pair with it remotely," the hacker explained. "Then they can take control of your phone when you're not looking." That's insane. They don't even need to touch the phone. Just being nearby is enough to pair. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. "It's not quite that simple. An average person couldn't pull it off. It takes a world-class hacker." The hacker smirked. "And that's only because your phone didn't have any protection software installed. I'll set you up with an anti-intrusion app. And then no one, no matter how good, will be able to just waltz into your phone again." "But can you recover the data that was on there?" she asked. "Those files. They hold all the sweet memories of me and my husband. If you can get them back, I'll pay you whatever it takes. You see, before I left, I'd forwarded all those mocking videos Ji Mingyu sent me to Lin Shuyi. But the professional team I hired didn't know that, and there was a massive mix-up. After my plane took off, the hacker from my team triggered a script that wiped every trace of me from Lin Shuyi's phone. So those nasty videos, she never actually received a single one. But now, her phone was in the hands of a genius hacker. It took a bit of time to restore everything, but eventually the hacker managed to pull back every last bit of data. Just before the flight boarded, the hacker handed the phone back to her. "Everything's back. I've recovered all your data. However, your husband has already blocked every single way you had to reach him. All I could do was restore your chat history. Getting yourself off that blacklist, well, that's up to you." Lin Shuyi nodded. "That's more than enough, thank you." "Don't mention it," the hacker replied with a grin. "After all, I'm just doing what I was paid for." She immediately had her people settle the final bill with the hacker. As a gesture of thanks, she even added a generous bonus. With the payment done, she boarded the plane. She wasn't in a hurry to check her phone, though. After all, the hacker had told her he'd already blocked every single one of her contact methods. Even if my WeChat profile suddenly popped back up in his friend list now, she couldn't even bring herself to message me. At most, she'd just stare at our old chat history sitting all by herself feeling miserable. But she wasn't the type to wallow in self-pity, crying over old texts after a breakup. That was just too pathetic for her. As a woman who always had the world at her feet, she didn't do pathetic. So for the entire duration of the flight, she just kept her eyes closed and rested. She didn't even glance at her phone once. "I'm not a loser," she thought, "and I'm not going to act like one." This trip to K country was about winning him back. She was determined to make things go back to the way they were. After a grueling 23-hour flight, the plane finally touched down safely. She was finally in K country, but as soon as Lin Shuyi stepped off that plane, she didn't come looking for me right away. She checked into a hotel first, where she took her time getting cleaned up. Then she ordered her staff to a nearby mall to buy her a custom-made couture gown. She changed, got her hair professionally styled, and made sure she was flawless from head to toe. Once she looked absolutely stunning, she picked up a massive bouquet of roses and headed out to find me, and that's where we are now. I was out for a stroll in a nearby park with a friend. She was a junior from my university days. Her name was Lin Ying Ying. We were just walking and laughing together when Lin Shuyi suddenly stormed out of nowhere. "Yuan Lin! So this is why you ran to K country for her." Her eyes were wide with shock, her entire face twisted in deep fury. "I knew something was going on between you two back in college. I guess I was right. Yuan Lin, how dare you sneak off to see an old flame? Do you even care that I'm your wife?" Lin Ying Ying wasn't just my junior, she was also Lin Shuyi's longtime rival. Back in school, Ying Ying really liked me and was always glued to my side. Actually close to becoming a couple until Lin Shuyi crashed into the picture. She claimed it was love at first sight and started chasing me like a woman possessed. Her pursuit was so relentless that no man could have ever turned her down. Getting a massive bouquet of roses every single day was just her baseline. She even sent me a diamond ring every single day. "From the moment I first saw you, I knew I was going to marry you," she had told me with such intensity. "You don't have to love me yet, but I'm going to give you a diamond ring every day until the day you finally say yes. I know your favorite story is 1001 Nights, so I'm going to give you 1001 diamond rings." I hope that by the time the last one arrives, you'll finally accept me. When that day comes, I'll have all 1001 diamonds ground into a fine powder, and I'll have the best designer weave them into a custom suit just for you. And when that day finally comes, I want you to be wearing that suit, the 1001 Nights suit when you come to marry me, under that kind of pressure. I eventually gave in, but at the same time, Lin Yingying's family ended up immigrating to K country for personal reasons. She got into grad school there, and our little spark of romance was snuffed out before it could even start. Yingying had always had feelings for me, but she never actually said the words. Since she was leaving the country, there didn't seem to be any point in confessing, so she just gave me a polite goodbye. And nothing more. Shen Li, if you ever find yourself in K country, you have to come find me, she said. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again. Sure thing, I agreed without a second thought. You'd better be treating me to dinner when the time comes. No problem, Yin replied with a smile. Since she had never actually confessed her feelings, I had no clue she'd ever had a crush on me. To me, she was always just a junior from school. My trip to Country K wasn't because of her either. It was because my best friend was living there. I went to Country K to clear my head with my buddy, after staying for a while. I planned to head to other countries traveling to find some peace of mind. Since we all went to the same school, my buddy knew Yin Yin too. The two of them had stayed in touch in Country K after I arrived. My buddy casually mentioned it. Hey, you want to hit up Yin Yin and hang out? That's when it hit me. I remembered promising her back in the day that if I ever came to Country K, I'd look her up. So I sent her a tentative text, asking if she wanted to grab a bite. Of course, Yin Yin replied almost instantly. We had a deal. If you came to Country K, dinner was on me. I didn't think she'd remember. It was just a casual joke from years ago. But she actually remembered. So the two of us set a time to go out for dinner. I didn't think anything of it. I even invited my buddy to join us. Too bad he had to leave halfway through because of a work emergency. In my eyes, Yin Yin and I were just old friends. We had nothing to hide, but Lin Shuyi didn't see it that way. She'd seen through Yin Yin's feelings for me long ago, so she'd always been incredibly hostile toward her. Do you have any idea how worried I was when you disappeared? She asked, her voice dripping with anguish. I was going out of my mind looking for you, but look at you. Sneaking around behind my back with an old flame, the moment I saw her. The smile died on my face. Lin Shuyi, have you lost your mind? I said coldly. What do you mean lover? Yin Yin is just my junior from school. Our relationship isn't as dirty as you're making it out to be. Show some respect. Junior. Shuyi let out a cold laugh. Sure, you might think of her that way. But God knows what she thinks of you. I couldn't take it anymore. Shuyi, you're being completely unreasonable. Do you think everyone is as filthy as you and Ji Mingyu? As if we're all hiding something shameful. When she heard me mention Ji Mingyu, Shuyi's expression shifted. Ruin Li, how many more times do I have to explain this to you? There's nothing going on between me and Mingyu. His father was my mentor. Mingyu saved my life during an avalanche once. All I feel for him is gratitude. I'm only good to him to repay that debt. Aside from that, I don't have any feelings for him at all. It was the same old story. I laughed. Shuyi, did you even get the message I sent you on WeChat? I asked with a cold stare. WeChat? What message? Shuyi looked genuinely confused. A message? Wait, did you hire a hacker to break into my phone? Do you have any idea? That the hacker deleted everything in my phone related to you. Everything is gone, Ruin Li, even if you're furious with me. You didn't have to go that far. Do you know how it felt not being able to find you? I couldn't reach you at all. I was worried sick. I looked down, my expression remaining cold. Is that so? Then it looks like you really didn't get my text. Too bad. I already threw that phone away. I couldn't bring myself to just shove those videos in your face. I paused for a moment, my tone shifting instantly. You should talk to my lawyer. My lawyer has every single video that Mingyu sent me. Lin Shuyi went completely stiff. He suddenly remembered that video Lin Hexuan showed him during the banquet 2 days ago. Everything was so chaotic at the party and he was so stressed out that he didn't stop to think about where that video actually came from. He just assumed Hexuan had paid a private investigator to take it. But looking back, those camera angles, they didn't look like the work of a private investigator at all. They looked like they were filmed secretly on a phone by Mingju. From a first-person perspective, Mingju sent those to you. His eyes widened in utter disbelief. Is he insane? I specifically warned him not to bring this to you. I let out a cold laugh. Shuyi! You finally admitted it. You and Mingyu have been messing around for a long time. You even have children together. Did you really think I didn't know? Zayu and Anon are your bastards, the secret children you had with Mingyu. Those words hit like the thunderclap exploding right in Shuyi's ears. He guiltily looked away, unable to meet my eyes any longer. Wanting calm down, it's not what you think. He never imagined I would know this much. He thought I had only guessed he was cheating, and hired a private investigator to dig for dirt. He thought the PI had just caught him. In those videos and photos with Mingyu, he figured I was just heartbroken, which is why I chose to leave. Before coming to Country K, he had already prepared a whole script. He'd coax me first, then drop to his knees and beg for forgiveness. He'd swear he'd never do it again, the classic routine. He was sure that would soften me up at least 70 or 80%, then he'd push even harder. While kneeling, he'd start crying his eyes out and say, as compensation, I'm willing to transfer every single asset I own. Everything goes to you. Wanting if I ever dare to cheat again, you can kick me out on the street. I'll leave with absolutely nothing. He was convinced that this performance would make me forgive him. To him, transferring all the property didn't even matter. After all, I don't have a uterus. I can't have children of my own. As long as I forgave him and agreed to remarry him. Those assets, wouldn't they just end up being inherited by Zayu and Anan anyway? So transferring the property to me changed nothing in the end. It was just a trick to lure me back. Wanting you have to believe me, I love you. Because he didn't expect me to know so much the script he'd painstakingly prepared was useless now. He had to wing it on the spot, which made him sound completely incoherent. Me and Mingyu. Actually, this is all Mingyu's fault. She drugged me. I only slept with her because I was drugged, and then she got pregnant. I didn't want to keep the baby, but right then Mingyu's father was diagnosed with brain cancer. He was at death's door. The old man's only dying wish was to hold his grandchild. If I had forced her to get an abortion then, it would have been like I was driving my own mentor to his grave. Wanting you can understand that, right? I just couldn't bring myself to do something so heartless. So I had no choice but to agree to have the baby. The more she spoke, the more she convinced herself she was right. She was even starting to move herself to tears. Yuanlin, honestly, I've been too afraid to tell you the truth. You're sterile. The real reason I insisted on being child-free wasn't because I didn't want your kids. It's because you literally can't have any. I was afraid the truth would crush your ego, so I kept it a secret all this time. Now that I've had kids with Ji Mingyu, isn't this the perfect solution? Mingyu is going to die soon anyway. He thinks we should just take Xiaozi and An and raise them as our own. That way you'll finally have an heir to carry on your legacy. This is a blessing. Why are you so angry? Listening to this absolute insanity, I almost laughed out of pure rage. Lin Shuyi, if that's the way you're going to play it, then I guess I should be thanking you. You and Lin don't be like that, she said, looking dead serious. I know it's a lot to process right now, but I'm really doing this for your own good. Even if you aren't blood related to the kids once Mingyu is gone, you'll be the only father they have. In time, they'll grow to love you. She was really living in a fantasy world, but was that how reality would actually play out? Knowing those two kids and their twisted dark personalities, I knew that once Ji Mingyu died, they'd most likely think I was the one who killed their father. Peace and quiet. Forget it. I'd be lucky if they didn't try to kill me. Besides, I know the truth better than anyone. Ji Mingyu doesn't have cancer. Lin Shuyi, stop lying to yourself. I shoved her away, my face was ice. You know as well as I do that Ji Mingyu doesn't have cancer. You two have been screwing so much you're practically shaking the house down. Does a man dying of cancer have the strength to mess around with you like that? Lin Shuyi's expression shifted instantly. It was obvious she'd already noticed something was off with him, but she refused to admit it, because the second she did, she couldn't keep cheating without a guilty conscience. No way, she stammered, acting shocked. I took Mingyu to his checkup myself, before she could finish her lie. I cut her off sharply. Lin Shuyi, the way you lie right to my face is disgusting. I'm done listening to your garbage. Get out, right now. Otherwise, I'm calling the police. Yuanlin let me explain. She wouldn't give up reaching out to grab my hand. But before she could even touch me, Lin Yinyin swung her arm and slapped Lin Shuyi across the face with every had. I can't listen to this anymore, Lin Yinyin said coldly. How can one person be so incredibly shameless? It's one thing to cheat on your husband, but to act like your affair is some kind of noble sacrifice, Lin Shuyi. You are a disgrace to women everywhere. How did I ever lose to a disgusting piece of human trash like you? The slap was so brutal. It left a mark instantly and blood began to trickle from her lip. You little bitch. She clutched her face, screaming in a blind rage, Lin Yin. This has nothing to do with you. Yuanlin is my husband. This is family business. Stay out of it. I shot her a freezing look. Lin Shuyi, don't forget you already signed the divorce papers. We are divorced. It's over. What divorce? I don't recognize it, she hissed. Those papers. Lin Hexuan forced me to sign those papers. It doesn't count for anything. And I only signed that divorce agreement to use it as a way to find you. Yuanli, I love you. I don't want to leave you. You're my everything. I can't live without you. Hearing her heartfelt confession, I just felt sick to my stomach. I didn't want to waste another breath on her, so I pulled out my phone and called the police. Seeing this, Lin Shuyi scrambled to stop me, but she missed her mark once again. Lin Yinyin stepped up, shielding me completely. Lin Shuyi, didn't you hear him? He's done with you. He already signed the papers. Get out of here right now and stop harassing him. Or don't blame me when things get ugly. He's a gentleman. He won't put his hands on a woman, but I'm a whole different story. I take out the trash like you for a living. Lin Shuyi was already seeing red. And with Lin Yinyin poking her over and over, she finally snapped. Lin Yinyin, are you really that desperate? You just have to steal someone else's man. Blinded by rage, she didn't care about anything else. She lunged forward, reaching out to rip Lin Yinyin's hair out, but Yinyin was no pushover. It was like she knew exactly when Shuyi would strike. Before that hand could even land, Yinyin had already sidestepped her. The two women started brawling right there, both of them letting out all their pent-up fury. Lin Shuyi hated Yinyin for meddling, while Yinyin hated that Shuyi had Yuanli, but never gave a damn about him. To trash her former idol like that was absolutely unforgivable. Lin Yinyin, I knew you wanted him too. You shameless little homewrecker, I'm gonna beat you to death today. Damn right I love him. You're the one who got Lu Yuanli. And then treated him like garbage. You cheated and broke his heart. A pathetic woman like you doesn't deserve him. You're the one interfering. And you think you have a point? Let me tell you, Lu Yuanli is mine. I'm the one who married him. He belongs to me for the rest of his life. Don't even think about coming between us. Lin Shuyi, you think we're living in the dark ages. People get divorced every day. You want to keep him trapped forever. Dream on. Both of them were trained fighters. Lin Yinyin knew kickboxing and Lin Shuyi had trained in boxing. They went at it hard, and for a while it was anyone's game. Good thing I called the cops early. The police arrived quickly and both Lin Yinyin and Lin Shuyi were put in handcuffs. Officers, thank God you're here. Lin Shuyi said in perfect English, that man who called is my husband. We just had a little misunderstanding and I was trying to explain things to him. Then this woman came out of nowhere and slapped me. Look at these scratches on my face. She pointed at Yinyin looking completely indignant. She's the one who started hitting me. She's meddling in a private family matter. Officers, you have to lock her up. But no matter how perfect her English was, the cops didn't pay her any mind. Since I was the one who placed the call, they were going to listen to my side of the story first. Sir, excuse me. An officer walked up to me and asked calmly, is what that lady said true? Are you her husband? If there's been some kind of misunderstanding. Please, you have to tell me. We're the police. We're here to help you. That's right. Wanting tell him I'm your wife, aren't I? Lin Shuyi looked at me with such desperate hope. In her mind, we're the ones who belong together. We're family. Lin Yingying is just an outsider. She was so sure I'd clear everything up for the police. After all, we were family. Meng Ranzhou A's is your brother, and I am your sister-in-law. More importantly, I'm your sister. That is a fact that will never change. As long as you still see me as your sister, we can go back to how things used to be. No matter what you want to do, I will always have your back. Hearing this, Meng Ranzhou suddenly snapped his head up. I don't want to be just your little brother. The child you're carrying, it's our sister Xinyan. I'm the father. Grandpa wants us back at the estate. To settle the wedding arrangements, I'm going to be your husband. Jiang Xinyan looked down, her voice cold and unwavering. I am absolutely not keeping this baby, and I am never marrying you. Meng Ranzhou glared at her, his voice hard as stone. That baby is staying. And you're marrying me whether you like it or not. Jiang Xinyan stared back, ice in her eyes. Her fury was naked and raw. No one dictates my life. Not even Grandpa. I'm getting rid of this baby. And you can't stop me. Meng Ranzhou gritted his teeth, eyes burning with pure hostility. Is that so? What if I say no? It doesn't matter. I have plenty of ways to make you comply. Jiang Xinyan sat back, looking down on him with pure arrogance. If you don't want this to get ugly, you'd better start playing nice. Meng Ranzhou couldn't help but shiver, his face turning deathly pale. You'd really destroy me and the family for him. Why wouldn't I? With a look of pure resentment, Meng Ranzhou stormed off. Jiang Xinyan pressed her fingers to her brow. She didn't know if she was coming down with a cold, or if it was just the days of no sleep, but she felt completely drained. Exhaustion finally won out. She collapsed onto the sofa, letting the fatigue pull her under. Into a deep sleep. Even when ex-spouses have moved on or found new lovers, these stalkers often let jealousy warp their minds until they lash out, murdering their former partners just for revenge. And Lin Shuyi's current logic lined up perfectly with that of a criminal. She had followed me all the way across the world. There was no way the police would ignore that. To them, this was a high-priority case. Any mishandling could lead to a tragedy. Lin Shuyi was thrown into detention for 7 days. When she was released, the police forced her to wear an electronic ankle monitor. If she ever tried to get close to me again, the monitor would let out a piercing siren, and nearby officers would be alerted instantly to come protect me. Then there was Lin Ying, even though she was the one who threw the first punch. I testified for her, saying she only acted because she couldn't stand my ex-wife's harassment. Thanks to that, she was released without any charges. The contrast was a bitter pill for Lin Shuyi to swallow, but she didn't blame me. After getting out, she finally turned her phone back on. She looked through the chat logs I sent, and in that moment, she finally saw the truth. Jimju was behind all of this. She was absolutely seething with rage. That piece of trash actually sent those videos to you and Lin. They were beyond disgusting. And under every single video, there was a mocking message from Ji Mingyu. Seeing those taunting texts, Lin Shuyi's face turned dark with pure fury. Fine, Ji Mingyu, I treated you like royalty and gave you everything. I was even going to leave my entire estate to your 2 children. And this is how you stab me in the back. The more she thought about it, the more furious she became. She flew back to the country immediately ready to tear Ji Mingyu apart. "Hey, honey, you're back!" Seeing her, Ji Mingyu immediately put on a smile and walked over tenderly. "What's wrong?" "Did you find you and Lin?" Lin Shuyi gave her a cold, hard stare. "Mingyu! Tell me, why would a man like you and Lin suddenly want a divorce?" Ji Minju's face froze for a split second, but she quickly masked it. I don't know." She looked down sadly. "Maybe it's because of him. Maybe he doesn't want you leaving all the family money to Xiaozi and Anan." Her voice got quieter and quieter. "What am I going to do, Yi? I feel like you and Lin doesn't like the kids. What if he hurts them after I'm gone? Zhouze and Anan are my whole life. If they're miserable, I won't even be able to close my eyes in my grave." She acted more and more heartbroken, like she was ready to drop dead at any moment. In the past, seeing her this depressed would have torn Lin Shuyi's heart out, but now she only felt pure disgust. "Right, you've got a terminal illness. You're supposed to be dead soon." She let out a cruel laugh. She lunged forward and grabbed him by the throat. "Didn't you tell me that you only had 1 week left to live? It's been over 2 weeks now. Why are you dead yet, Ji Mingyu? You don't have cancer at all, do you? You've been playing me." Suddenly choked. Ji Mingyu wasn't actually that scared. There's a big physical difference between them. Even though she'd trained in boxing trying to strangle a man who was much bigger than her, that was going to be difficult. But he still faked a look of pure panic. "No, Yi, I'm not playing you. Yi, are you trying to kill me? Please let go. I can't breathe." But at this point, his acting and playing the victim didn't work on her anymore. She sneered, "Not playing me. Then how about I take you to the hospital right now for a full exam? There is nothing I hate more than being lied to. If those results say you're clean, I promise I will shove a bunch of cancer-causing chemicals down your throat. I'll make sure you actually get cancer." That one sentence finally broke his composure. No, please." His face went deathly pale. He screamed at the top of his lungs, "Yi, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I didn't mean to trick you, I only did it because I'm so deeply in love with you, just like how you fell for me. I've lost my mind because I love you so much. It's too much. I was so jealous of Zia Ruwaning. I didn't want to be your secret anymore. I'm done being your secret lover. I want to stand by your side for real in the light." Facing his soulful confession, Lin Shuyi didn't look moved at all. She just curled her lip. The look on her face wasn't exactly a smile. It was more like a death stare. "So, you secretly recorded us together and sent it to Ruin Li behind my back." Ji Minju's face went white as a sheet. The fact that Ruin Li knew everything pushed her over the edge. Lin Shuyi backhanded him, sending him crashing to the floor. "You pathetic piece of trash. How many times did I warn you to stay away from Ruin Li? But look at you, you actually had the nerve to provoke him. I was so good to you. I even gave you Ruin Li's kidney for your transplant. And you still backstabbed me." She got angrier as she spoke, shouting whatever came to mind. As she lunged forward and kicked him hard in the stomach. "It's all your fault if it weren't for you, Ruin Li. Would never have found out I was cheating. If it weren't for you, he would never have left me." She kicked him in the gut over and over again. But she still wasn't satisfied. She grabbed a handful of his hair and slammed his head hard against the nearby wall. "Ji Mingju, were you proud of yourself in that video? Did you think that once Ruin Li was out of the picture, you could just step up and become my husband in your dreams? In my heart, you aren't even worth one of Ruin Li's toenails." She kept screaming insults as she gripped his hair. Sinking his head into the wall again and again. Ji Mingju could have fought back, but he was used to playing the victim to get her sympathy. So he didn't move. Instead, he grit his teeth and took it, hoping she'd eventually feel sorry for him. Too bad for him, this time she didn't care. Soon his face was covered in blood. A huge crimson smear stained the white wall. By the time he wanted to fight back, it was too late. He lay in a pool of blood, unable to move, only able to beg for mercy. "No, I don't believe it, Shuyi. You said you loved me. You said you were crazy about me. I don't believe this. You're saying I'm nothing compared to Ruin Lee," he cried as he struggled to crawl to her feet. He reached out with a blood-stained hand, trying to grab her long, slender leg. "I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Shuyi, you love me. You have to love me, right?" But Lin Shuyi just raised her foot, kicked him aside with a look of pure disgust. "I did like you a little bit, but I liked that you were obedient and knew your place. I liked that you knew how to please me," she sneered. "Do you get it now? To me, you're just like a pet dog. I play with you when I'm in a good mood. When I'm not, I can crush you whenever I want, but Ruin Lee is different. He is the love of my life. A man as perfect and untouchable as him is the only one worthy of my love. As for you, you're just a toy I've already broken. You used to be sweet and compliant. That's why I was nice to you. Why I threw you a few crumbs of affection. If you had just kept serving me quietly and stayed in your lane, I wouldn't have minded keeping you around, but you just had to cross the line. You should have never tried to mess with Yuan Lin. He is my entire life. I can't live without him, and yet you actually had the nerve to stab me back, sending him those disgusting videos and constantly taunting him, Ji Mingju. You've crossed the line." As she spoke, she suddenly grabbed him by the throat, saying viciously, "Because of you, Yuan Lin wants a divorce now. He even called the police and barred me from ever coming near him again. You disgusting man, you've ruined my life so completely. How do you think I should punish you for this?" Ji Mingju shuddered violently, begging in pure terror, "Yi, I was wrong. I'll never do it again, I promise. Please just let me go. I'll stay in my place from now on. I swear it. I'll be good. I'll do whatever you say. I won't ever cross the line again. Please have mercy." But Lin Shuyi's gaze only grew colder and colder. "Now you finally want to behave? Too bad it's way too late," she said coldly. "I told you before I hate it when people try to play me. Since you claimed you had cancer, you might as well go to the hospital for chemotherapy. If you're sick, you need to get proper treatment, right?" As she spoke, a twisted and terrifying smile crept across her face. Ji Mingju realized what was happening, and he began to struggle frantically. "No, Lin Shuyi, you can't do this to me. I'm the father of Xiao Zhen and An. If you do this to me, the children will never forgive you." Lin Shuyi gave a dark, cruel laugh. "Well, Xiao Zhen and An would actually have to know what I did first. And honestly, I think once they know the truth, they'll hate you even more. Because originally they were supposed to inherit my entire estate. But now because of you, they won't get a single penny." Ji Mingju froze instantly. He looked up at her in total disbelief. "What do you mean? Shouza and Anan are your own flesh and blood. You wouldn't just abandon them too, would you?" "I'd love to take care of them, but Yuan Lin already knows they're your kids," Lin Shuyi said in a freezing tone. "I know Yuan Lin well, even if he eventually forgives me. He will never accept those two bastards, so it's a real shame. But those two runts of yours won't inherit anything. I'm gonna have them adopted by some childless elders in a distant branch of the Lin family. Then I'll tell everyone that they are just some far-off relatives. I won't let them starve to death. But they can forget about ever touching the Lin family fortune. Lin Shuyi, Shouza and An are your own children. You'll pay for this. Karma will get you." Ji Mingju screamed at the top of his lungs, but it didn't matter. A group of doctors in white coats arrived and forcibly dragged him away. Lin Shuyi publicly announced that Ji Mingyu had cancer and had to undergo chemo. But in reality, he didn't have cancer at all. For actual cancer patients, the machines help kill the cancer cells inside their bodies. But while the machines kill cancer cells, they also destroy the healthy cells as well. The process is agonizingly painful. Many cancer patients become incredibly weak while undergoing chemotherapy. Their hair falls out and they wither away more and more each day. And now Ji Mingju, who didn't even have cancer, was being forced by doctors to undergo chemo every day. Every single side effect began to manifest in his body. His hair fell out in huge clumps, and soon his once stylish hair was almost completely gone. He was going bald. His skin started to wither and age, covered in dark spots and deep wrinkles. In less than a single month, it was like he had suddenly aged over a decade. But that wasn't even the worst of it. The worst part was that Lin Shuyi ordered the doctors to take the organ that originally belonged to me and rip them right back out of his body. The trauma of the surgery made him age even faster. And just like she said, his 2 children were shipped off to a distant branch of the Lin family, even though it was a side branch. The Lin family is massive and wealthy, so normally, those 2 kids would have lived a decent life there. But many people in the family had already guessed that they were the secret bastards of Ji Mingyu and Lin Shuyi. Because of this, I'm currently in the middle of a divorce with her. Everyone in the Lin family knows that I am the only person Shuyi truly cares about. If you offend Shuyi, you might survive because you can beg me for mercy. But if you offend me, you're as good as dead. The servants in these powerful families are experts at kicking people when they're down. Since the father of those 2 kids had offended me, the staff obviously wasn't going to treat them with any kindness. The future for those twins is going to be brutal. But Lin Shuyi didn't give a damn about any of that. All she could think about now was getting back to Country K and bringing me home. Ruinling, I'm begging you, just give me 10 minutes to let me finish what I have to say. As soon as she flew back to Country K, she found me immediately and dropped to her knees, repenting from the bottom of her heart. Ruinling, I'm completely done with Ji Mingyu. I've sent the 2 children away. I swear I will never let Ji Mingyu or those 2 mistakes ever show their faces in front of you again from now on. My heart and my body belong only to you and all of my assets. I will transfer every single cent of my wealth into your name. I know I was wrong. Please just give me one more chance. I promise I won't let you down this time. If I ever fail you again, you can kick me out of the house and leave me with absolutely nothing. It's time for everything to end. She thought she had ended with her own hands. Ji Mingyu had received the punishment he deserved. The children were gone, and she had even retrieved the organs she stole from me. She thought she had finally put a period on this whole farce. So should I really give her another chance? Everyone deserves a second shot, right, Lu Yuan? For your sake, I even gave up Xiaoze and Anon. She said it's because to her, I am the most important person in her life. If you don't like them, I'll even abandon my own flesh and blood. I love you, and I'd give up everything for you. Faced with her dramatic confession, I only found it pathetic. I gave her a cold, empty stare, without a shred of emotion. So you kept it from me and secretly harvested my organs to transplant them into Ji Mingyu. Is this what you call love, Lin Shuyi? Your love is terrifying. Lin Shuyi's expression shattered. She stammered, How do you know about that? Who told you? I didn't say a word. My gaze only growing colder. She immediately changed her tune. Fine. None of that matters now. Lu Yuan, I've already gotten your organs back. If you want children, we can have one together. I swear once our child is born, I will protect it with my very life. To cherish you and the child. Lin Shuyi, you are being completely impossible. I didn't even want to waste another word on her, so I just called the cops. But as it turned out, I didn't even need to. The police were already on their way. Because he had a criminal record back in the country the moment he stepped foot there. He was already fitted with an electronic ankle monitor. From the second he saw me, that ankle monitor had already alerted the authorities. The police rushed over, slapping the handcuffs on him once again, but he still wouldn't give up. Even as they shoved him into the squad car, he kept screaming wanly, I'm not giving up on us. I'll prove it to you. I'll show you with everything I do that I truly love you. You're the only one for me in this entire lifetime. Just you wait. I am going to win you back no matter what. And he actually meant it. Every single time he tried to get close to her, the electronic monitor on his leg would let out a piercing, shrill alarm. The police would show up within 10 minutes and haul him right back into custody. But he was relentless. Every single time he got out of jail, he would head straight back to find her. After this went on for a while, he paid a fortune to hire a hacker to break into the system and disable the chip in his ankle monitor. That way he could stalk me without any restrictions. I was sick and tired of it. So finally, I made a choice. I took all those videos Ji Mingyu had sent me, and I posted every single one of them online. Lin Shuyi, do you get it now? There is absolutely no us anymore. I told her with a cold stare, we aren't just having a spat. And this isn't some lover's quarrel. We have been completely over for a long time. I don't love you. In fact, I actually hate you. I don't even hate Ji Mingyu that much. But I despise you because you threw my devotion back in my face. I want to see your reputation dragged through the mud. After I said my piece, I leaked every single video of Lin Shuyi and Ji Mingyu's affair onto the internet. The moment those videos went live, they set the internet on fire. To be honest, after that banquet, there were already all kinds of rumors floating around. But those scandals were only being whispered about in elite social circles. Nothing had really hit the mainstream yet, so even though Lin Shuyi's name took a hit, the Lin Group's stock hadn't really budged. But now that the videos were public, the internet was in an absolute rage. People everywhere started tearing Lin Shuyi apart. Honestly, I'm gonna gag. I never imagined Lin Shuyi could be such a piece of work. She spent all that time playing the devoted partner role, but behind the scenes, she was messier than anyone. This is hilarious. I remember when the netizens voted her the national ideal wife. This is what they call a national ideal wife. Talk about a bad pick. Back then, Lin Shuyi leaned hard into that doting wife persona to build a massive fan base. It helped her company grow bigger and bigger, but the internet is a double-edged sword. It's what made her, and now it's what's destroying her. Now that her image has completely shattered, the Lin Group's stock is taking a massive dive. It plummeted for over a month straight, with tens of billions of dollars just evaporating into thin air. She lost everything, but long before I ever hit upload on those videos, I had already finalized the divorce and split all our assets. So my personal wealth didn't take a single hit. Not only that, but a lot of people actually started supporting my company out of pure sympathy. To be honest, after the divorce, I only walked away with a few small clothing companies. But now, with all the support from my followers, online business has never been better. Stay single and keep shining, king. Stay far away from that trashy woman and start your new life. I heard that bitch even schemed to steal his kidney. Our golden boy has been through way too much. We have to support him. Hang in there. Don't let that toxic woman ruin your vibe. Life is still beautiful after all. Reading all those encouraging messages from everyone, it really warms my heart, although I haven't quite stepped out from the shadow of that marriage yet. I believe time will heal all wounds. One day I'll be whole again. Right now I've got the money, the looks, and the time. I'm not worried about moving on. So I decided to start a trip around the world. Partly to get away from Ling Shuying and partly to find some peace on the road. Hey there, handsome. I heard you're planning a trip around the world. Do you need a travel buddy? Just before I was set to leave, Lin Yin suddenly showed up at the airport. She looked at me with a soft smile, her eyes full of pure affection. I couldn't help but smile back. Listen, if you just want to travel, we can go together as friends. But if you're trying to use this trip to chase after me, you should probably forget it. I just got out of a train wreck of a marriage. My head is a mess right now. And I won't be looking for a relationship for a very long time. Please understand that. My gentle rejection didn't scare her off. She walked right up to me and said with total conviction, "It's okay, Lin Yuan, I can wait. I already missed my chance with you once. I'm not letting you slip away a second time. I'll wait as long as it takes, and I really do want to travel too. Don't feel pressured. Just think of me as your travel companion, nothing more." I couldn't say no to her, so I agreed to let her join me on the journey. Maybe one day in the future I'll find hope and love again, and finally accept her feelings. Or maybe I'm just done with love for good, and I'll never be able to let her in. But none of that matters right now. I'll let my future self worry about the future. Right now I just want to find poetry in far-off lands. Meanwhile, as for Lin Shuyi, after I leaked the footage of her cheating with Ji Mingju, she finally realized that we are completely over. There is no coming back from this for the rest of her life. She'll have to live with nothing but endless regret. As the plane broke through the clouds, I stared out the window at the endless sky. The sunlight was so bright. My eyes sting. It reminded me of a day just like this 5 years ago, when I sat on a bench with Lin Shuyi outside the marriage bureau waiting for our license. She was wearing a white dress, her hair flowing down her shoulders. Smiling like a little girl, she asked me, "How long do you think we'll be together?" When she asked that, I squeezed her hand and said sincerely, "A lifetime." She laughed, her eyes crinkling into little crescents, saying 2 lifetimes wouldn't be enough, or even 3, or 4 or 5. She started counting on her fingers, acting all serious, saying it had to be at least 10,000 lifetimes. I laughed and said, "Fine, 10,000 lifetimes." Back then, I thought even 10,000 lifetimes wouldn't be long enough, but now I realize 5 years was plenty. 5 years is enough to drag a person from heaven to hell, and enough to turn every sacred vow into a total joke. When the plane finally touched down in Pei, it was already dark out. I dragged my suitcase out of the airport, the night air biting at my skin. Lin Ying walked beside me in silence. She just stayed there, quietly keeping me company. I caught her eye and she gave me a soft smile. Her eyes were so bright, suddenly memories of my college days came flooding back. I had just started school then. She was a younger student I met in one of the clubs. She used to follow me everywhere, constantly calling out "senior, senior" when I asked what she wanted. She'd just say it was nothing. She just liked saying it. I didn't think much of it back then. But then Lin Shuyi came into my life. She chased after me relentlessly. I was eventually won over by her passion. I agreed to be with her. When Lin Yin found out, she didn't say a single word. It wasn't until the day I graduated that she sent me a text, "Senior, I hope you'll be happy." After that, she left to PhD. 5 years passed without a word. And now seeing her again, I'm a man who's already been through a divorce. "Senior, what are you thinking about?" Yin Yin's voice snapped me out of my trance. I shook my head, coming back to reality. Nothing, let's go, let's get to the hotel first. We caught a cab and headed toward the city. The night view outside the window was stunning, with the neon lights flickering past. I leaned back against the seat and closed my eyes. But I couldn't stop it. Lin Shuyi's face kept flashing in my mind. The way she looked when she laughed, the way she looked when she cried. Her anger, her sweetness, it was all there. But finally the image froze on the moment she shielded Ji Ming-yu. She threw her own body in front of that car to protect him while I was the one sent flying by the impact right next to them. What was I thinking in that moment? I was thinking about the time we went skydiving. She had protected me just like that back then. She told me that she'd rather die herself than ever let me get hurt. But now, she'd rather let me die than let him get a scratch. What a sick joke. I opened my eyes and watched the streetlights blur into long lines as we sped past. A sudden peace washed over me like a pool of stagnant water. No hate, no love, just a vast empty hollow. We made it to the hotel, and Yin Yin and I went to our separate rooms. After a shower, I sat by the window staring out at the city lights. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Lin Quechuan. Mr. Zia, the divorce papers are finalized. They've been sent to your address overseas. Please keep an eye out for them. I stared at those words, reading them over and over. It's official. We're really divorced. I stared at the screen and suddenly started laughing. But the laughter soon turned into tears. I didn't even know what I was crying for. Was it for those 5 wasted years for the person I used to be? Or was I crying because a love that was once so beautiful had turned into this? I don't know, I just needed to let it out. I cried for a long, long time until finally my eyes ran dry. Strangely, my heart felt lighter. I wiped my face, stood up, and cracked open the window. The night wind drifted in cool and refreshing. I took a deep breath. Starting today, I'm single. Starting today. I'll never have to lose myself for someone else again. From this moment on, I can go wherever I want and do whatever I want. No one can control me anymore, and no one can ever hurt me again. I'm finally free. The next morning, Yin Yin and I went to a very famous local sightseeing spot. It was a massive park with lakes, mountains, and flowers everywhere. We strolled along the lakeside. The sunlight was dancing on the water, and it sparkled. So Yin Yin asked me, "What are your plans for the future?" I thought about it for a second. Travel, I guess. I want to see all the places I've missed. And after that, I haven't really thought that far ahead. Maybe I'll go back home. Maybe I'll stay abroad. Maybe I'll just keep traveling. It depends on my mood. She smiled at me. Then can I just keep following you? I glanced at her. Hey, don't you have a job to get back to? I quit, she said like it was no big deal. I was taken aback. You quit? You just walked away from a career that good? Yeah. She nodded and looked me in the eye. Because I want to be with you. I didn't know what to say. She looked at me again and added, "You don't have to feel any pressure. I'm not saying you have to accept my feelings. I just want to be there for you while you're going through this rough patch. Once you're doing better, you can go wherever you want. And be with whoever you want. I won't hold you back." I looked at her. Her eyes were so clear, so sincere. I felt a sudden lump in my throat. Thank you. She gave me a smile as bright as the sun. You're welcome. Let's keep walking. After a few more steps, she suddenly spoke up. Actually, there's something I've always wanted to ask you. What's that? About you and Shuyi. How did you two even start? I paused for a beat thinking back. He was the one who went after me. What did he do? Flowers, diamond rings. Every single day, he gave me 1,001 rings. Yin Yin's eyes went wide. 1,001? That many? Yeah, I nodded. He said his favorite story was 1,001 Nights. So he gave me 1,001 diamond rings. When he was done, he was going to grind them into dust and line a suit with them, so I could wear that 1,001 Nights suit to marry him. Yin Yin listened, stayed silent for a moment, and then whispered, "That sounds incredibly romantic." It was, I said. At the time I thought it was romantic too. And then he actually finished. He gave me all 1,001 rings. And I really did wear that suit when I married him. Where's the suit now? I thought about it. I burned it, Yin Yin gasped. Burned it, I said, after I found out he was cheating. I burned everything that had to do with him. The wedding photos, the pictures, the clothes, and that suit. She went silent. A long time passed. Before she finally said, "That must have been so hard for you." I didn't say a word. She continued, "If I were in your shoes, I'd be devastated too." I looked at her. "You don't think I'm too heartless? Just burning it all like that?" She shook her head. "No. It was yours. You had every right to do what you did. Besides," she paused, "some things. Keeping them around only makes the pain worse. It's better that they're gone. Burning it all makes everything clean again. I gave her a smile. Hey, you really do get me, don't you? She smiled back. Of course I do. I'm your favorite junior after all. We kept walking forward. The sun was beautiful and the breeze was crisp and cool. I suddenly felt like this was enough, having someone by my side. Someone to talk to, someone who actually understands you. Maybe there's no romance, but this friendship is more than enough for me. After a week in Pibo Yin and I headed to the next country. It was a tiny little country, but the scenery was absolutely breathtaking. We rented a room at a guest house in a small town, planning to stay for 2 weeks. The owner was a sweet old lady who was incredibly welcoming. She cooked us local specialties and told us so many stories about the area. Yin listened intently, chiming in with questions every now and then. I leaned back in my chair watching the sunset. That orange-red glow was dancing on the waves, looking just like a painting. Senior, what are you thinking about? Yin asked. I snapped out of my thoughts, shaking my head. Nothing. I was just thinking about how beautiful the sunset is here. She smiled. It really is. And so we just sat there, watching the sun slowly sink into the ocean. The sky gradually dimmed, and the stars began to twinkle one by one. Suddenly, Yin spoke up. Senior! You know I used to imagine this. How wonderful it would be if I could watch the stars with you someday. I was stunned. I looked at her and her face was a bit flushed. But she didn't look away. And now it's actually happening, she whispered. My heart suddenly softened. But I still didn't say anything. I just gave her a small smile. The stars really are beautiful. She laughed too. And then went quiet. We just sat there like that, lost in the stars for a long time. In the days that followed, we traveled all over, at every stop. I'd take tons of photos. Yin would take them too. Sometimes we'd take pictures of each other, and sometimes we'd ask strangers to snap a photo of us together. The photos kept piling up until my phone was almost out of storage. One night, we were back in our hotel room sorting through all the pictures. Yin was scrolling through them when she suddenly said, Hey, have you noticed something? Your eyes look really good when you smile. I blinked. Really? She nodded. But in those old photos of you and Shuyi, your eyes didn't shine like this when you smiled. I went silent. She continued. But in these new ones, your eyes are so bright. Even if you still look sad sometimes, most of the time you're actually smiling. A real smile. I just looked at her. She kept her head down, flipping through the photos one by one. You're really starting to heal. I was quiet for a long moment before I finally said, Yeah, I think I am. She looked up at me, her eyes sparkling. I'm glad. I smiled. Thank you, Yin. Thanks for sticking by me through all of this. She shook her head. Don't mention it. I wanted to be here. That night, we talked for a long time about college, about life after graduation, and how we'd been living all these years. She told me about her days in K-Country, how she had to adapt to a foreign place all on her own, how hard she worked, how she slowly, piece by piece, found her footing. Listening to her, I suddenly realized how incredible she was. Moving to a whole different country by herself. No family, no friends, relying only on herself. But what about me? I was an orphan, I was already alone, but then I met Lin Shuyi. I thought I finally had a family, someone to lean on, but in the end, I was back to being alone. Hey, senior! Lin Yin's voice snapped me out of my thoughts. I blinked. Oh, what's up? You've been staring into space for a while, she asked. What are you thinking about? I smiled. Just thinking you're pretty amazing. Making such a good life for yourself all alone in K-Country. She paused for a second, then laughed. It's nothing special, I was just forced into it. When life pushes you that far, you don't have a choice but to be strong. I nodded. Yeah, when you're backed into a corner, you have to be strong. She looked at me and suddenly asked, Senior, does it still hurt? I thought about it for a moment. Sometimes, yeah. But it's not that soul-crushing heartbreak anymore. It's just occasionally when I remember it feels like a waste. A waste of those 5 years, a waste of all those good times we once had. She nodded. I get it. We didn't say anything else after that. The moonlight drifted through the window so soft, I suddenly felt this was okay. Having someone there, someone to talk to, someone who gets you, even without romance. Friendship was enough. Maybe one day, friendship will turn into love. Maybe it won't. But either way, it's good. The trip lasted for 3 months. We visited over a dozen countries, took thousands of photos, and ate endless amounts of local food. We met all kinds of people, warm and welcoming guest house owners, backpackers hitching rides, couples watching the sunrise together, and buskers performing on the street. Everyone had their own story, and everyone was trying so hard to live. One day, we were taking a break in a cafe in a small town. Lin Ying went to order coffee, and I sat by the window watching the street outside. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I picked up and there was silence for a moment. and then a familiar voice. Yuan Lin, it's me. I froze. It was Lin Shui. Yuan Lin, please listen. Her voice sounded frantic. I know you don't want to see me, but I have to tell you. I hung up, then I blocked the number. Lin Yingying came back with the coffee and saw my face. She paused. What's wrong? Nothing, I said, just a spam call. She looked at me but didn't push it. She set the coffee in front of me. Try the latte here. They say it's famous. I took a sip. It really was good. Is it okay? She asked. I nodded. It's great, she smiled. And the sunlight through the window caught her face. I suddenly realized she has a beautiful smile. It wasn't the bold beauty Lin Shuyi had. It was the kind that just feels right. She's like a spring breeze, like sunshine in the dead of winter. It's not flashy or loud, it just feels right. It makes you feel at peace. Hey, what are you looking at? She asks, snapping me out of my thoughts. Nothing, I was just thinking you have a really beautiful smile. She freezes for a second. Then her face turns bright red. Are you actually complimenting me right now? I can't help but smile. Yeah, I am. Her face gets even redder. She looks down too shy to meet my eyes, looking at her like this. My heart just melts. This sweet girl has loved me for so many years. She's just been there, loving me quietly, never once getting in my way. She never caused any trouble, and now she's here by my side asking for absolutely nothing in return. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't moved. Hey, I say softly. She looks up. I look her in the eyes. If one day, I mean only if I can finally let go of the past. If I'm ready to start over, would you still be willing to wait for me? She's stunned, and then her eyes slowly start to light up. I would, she says. Her voice is barely a whisper, but it's so steady. I've always been willing to wait. I smile, and then she smiles too. The sun coming through the window feels so warm. The smell of the coffee is perfect. Everything just feels right. We kept traveling after that, but the vibe had shifted. Before, we were just friends, a mentor and his student, but now there's something more. I can't quite put my finger on it. But everything is different. We still watch the sunrises together. We watch the sunsets and count the stars just like before. But now when her hand accidentally brushes against mine, she blushes. She'll pull away at first, but then she'll quietly lean back in, watching her. It makes me want to laugh, but it's so adorable. Then one night, we're walking along the beach. The moonlight is hitting the water, making it shimmer. She suddenly stops and looks at me. Hey! Her eyes are sparkling. She says, there's something I've been holding in for a long time. I look at her and ask, what is it? She takes a deep breath. I love you. I've loved you since college. Back then you were with Lin Shuyi, so I didn't dare say a word. Then you got married, so I hid it even deeper. And then when you got divorced, you were hurting so much I still couldn't say it. I was so afraid you'd push me away. I was scared you wouldn't let me be there for you anymore. Her voice starts to tremble. But I can't keep it inside anymore. I love you. I really, really love you. I know you might not be ready. I know you probably need more time, and that's okay. I can wait. I just wanted you to know that there's someone who has always been waiting for you. She finishes and looks down, unable to meet my gaze. I just stare at her. The moonlight is washing over her, and I can see her eyelashes trembling. Suddenly, I remember the first time I met her. She was wearing a white dress standing in front of the club recruitment booth. She called out to me so shyly. Even then, I thought she was pretty cute. But then Lin Shuyi came along. I was swept up by her energy. And when we got together, I thought that was love. But looking back, was it really? Or was I just caught up in the feeling of being wanted and adored? I honestly don't know. But I do know that the person standing in front of me now, she's the one who truly knows me, who truly loves me, the one who's willing to walk through the hardest parts of life with me. I take a step toward her. I gently took her hand in mine. She looked up at me, her eyes filled with surprise, hope, and a tiny bit of fear. I smiled. Thank you for waiting for me for so long. Her eyes started to well up. Hey, I continued. I can't say that I've completely moved on from the past yet. And I can't say I'm fully ready to start over, but I'm willing to try. I want to try with you. Tears began to fall, but she was smiling. Really? I nodded. Really? She threw herself into my arms and held me tight. I was stunned for a second, then I reached out and pulled her close. The moonlight washed over us as the waves gently lapped against the shore. Everything was so peaceful, so perfect. In the days that followed, we went traveling. But things felt different now. We walked hand in hand through streets we'd never seen before. We leaned against each other to watch the sunset. We took photos of one another, and then posted them on social media. Our friends all commented, "You guys are finally together." I just smiled at those comments. One night we were out on the hotel balcony stargazing. She rested her head on my shoulder and suddenly asked, "Do you have any regrets?" "Regrets about what?" About marrying Lin Shuyi. I thought about it for a moment. No. She looked up at me. Why not? After everything she put you through, I gave a small smile. Because without that experience, I might never have known what it's like to be truly loved by someone. And I might never have found you. She went still for a moment. Then she laughed. When you put it like that, I'm actually getting a bit shy. I pinched her cheek. What's there to be shy about? I'm just telling the truth. She leaned her head back on my shoulder. Will we stay together forever? I looked up at the stars. We will. She beamed her smile as bright as the night sky. Years passed, we traveled to so many places, met so many people, and went through so much together. We had our fights and we had our makeups. We cried and we laughed, but no matter what happened, we stayed by each other's side. One day we went back to Korea. Back to the very first place we traveled together. It was the same park, the same lake. The sunlight hit the water's surface. Shimmering and sparkling, it looked exactly like it did the first time we were there. She stood by the lake and looked back at me. Do you remember? The first time we came here, you said you weren't ready. I walked over and stood beside her. I remember. And now? Are you ready now? I looked at her face glowing in the sunlight at the reflection of the lake and mountains in her eyes. Looking at that little hopeful smile on her lips, I smiled. I'm ready. She smiled too. Then we kept on walking. Hand in hand like we'd just keep walking together forever.